they're still working on the road and all that kind of stuff down there. But I'm gonna head to a plastic shop today because I have an idea for a canopy that I want to try. And I'm gonna go over there and talk to them about it and see if there is a possibility of them getting, of me getting their help, and with this idea that I have. So we get a stop at the train tracks today. The funny thing is, I don't hear a train coming, don't hear anything going on. So maybe it's just a ways off, I don't know. Can't tell if I can hear something or not. We'll see in a few minutes. Anyway, I've not been stopped at the train tracks, especially at this crossing, in a long time. Oh yeah, here it comes. They normally come up quicker on my side of town, about another 7 miles out, because the speed limit's faster out there. This is in the city right next to the airport, so the speed limit's a lot slower. So when I was expecting it to be zooming by, it wasn't, because it just wasn't going that fast. So here it is, we'll wait on this and then we'll head on. We've got a couple more miles to go to the plastic company. So I've come over here to Trident Plastics here in Richmond, and I had a couple of the mechanic guys come out and look at the Velo and tell me that it's probably possible for the idea that I want to try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some plastic and I'm going to try and make a hood. One piece plastic hood for the top. They have 60 thousandths is the smallest they have, the thinnest they have, so it should be fairly light, and we're gonna try it out. Okay, so they were kind enough to give me a scrap that I'm gonna take home, and I fit it in the Velo, and the cool thing is it's probably just about the right size already. It might be a little bit thinner than what I wanted, but I might be able to do it if I add a couple of little braces on the side. So we might be onto something here. I have to check this out. We're gonna give it a go. And that's it, another ride done. That was a really good ride. Stopped there for a minute and talked to that guy on the side of the road. His name is Terry. So he's kind of one of my neighbors, just lives around the bend. Got to meet him. He said, I've seen one of these before. I saw a yellow one. I had to tell him the story of that was my old one. And he was really fascinated with the whole thing. So I stopped and talked to him for a while, gave him a card, tell him all about it. So Terry, if you're watching, nice to meet you. Thanks for chatting with me, and look forward to seeing you out there on the road some more. So I got 19.35 miles today. Took me about an hour. So yeah, 102, so I'm averaging 19 miles an hour. And today I was not pushing it at all. So I just took a nice casual leisure ride over there and just enjoyed it. Got a piece of plastic that I'm gonna try and maybe make a one-piece Flevoroof. Anyway, it was a great ride, and now I'm gonna go start working on this top. Okay, so I'm back out in the shop thinking more about the Macrolon hood and how I can make it work. If I can make it a full Macrolon hood. I am still considering using the Flevoroof as a mold, or maybe as a base. This is the bump where the little handle is for the window inside, and then there's a little bit of a transition bump here. So I'm gonna heat that up again and run the race cap, and it would give me taking the little fasteners that hold the windshield of the Flevoroof on, and to twist it and it pops off, and then you push the fastener out. Flevoroof windshield is removed. It's actually a pretty stiff plastic. Okay, so I'm trying to fit it to where it's going to be even on both sides, and it's not going to make either one of these angles. Full windshield. I don't have to worry about the air coming directly in on my face right in there. So I think this actually might work, because I just need ever so slightly a curve on it. So if I can form it and do it that way, hopefully it'll come out good. And I've got a nice curved form. One of the things that I noticed right off was that it gave more rigidity to the entire roof. This should keep the wind directly off my face for the most part. Now if I have to end up... Seems to be what I was looking for. I've got plenty of cooling air because of the open sides, and I've even got a little bit of cooling air there in the front coming through. And if I really need to, I can look down underneath the window and see out if the glare is too much, or if I end up getting water and I'm going in the rain or something. So I'm going to take this pretty good downhill. I can usually hit around 30 on this hill, and let's see what that feels like. Again, there's hardly any air hitting me right in the face. You can probably see by my hair moving around that the wind is still moving, but it's not hitting me directly in the face, and that's what I like. So as long as I can keep it clear, you can even see through it if the sun is shining. Now I could see putting up near the top, I could see putting some window tint up there, but yep, I think this is just what I was looking for as far as having a full windshield and open sides. And I think I was going down the wrong road with trying to build a form and trying to make it pretty and trying to make it fancy, when all I needed was just a bigger piece of Macrolon. Okay, so placebo effect, good conditions today. I don't know, but it felt a little bit faster. Now, one of the things I did notice right off, because I don't have the wind directly on my face anymore, it does feel a little bit warmer. But I prefer that because I don't feel so beat up after a ride. If you know what I mean. Like when I'm riding my open trike, or when I'm riding with the Velo completely topless and I don't have the mini visor, I feel like I just get beat up by the wind. And especially on a longer ride, the longer rides don't feel as enjoyable to me because of all the wind factor and the fatigue that goes along with all that wind beating you all the time. But I can tell you that I like the results. I can have the shade and I can have the wind not directly in my face. So I think, for me, this is a perfect modification. If you want to do it, it's so easy. Get some Lexan, add 8 inches to the front of your Flevoroof. You don't even have to add it, make it one solid window like I did. You can just add a second one. I've seen people do that before and just zip tie it onto the front, the lower part. But I wanted one continuous piece. I'm thinking about getting some window tint and adding to the top part where I don't look directly out, but where it gives me plenty of sunlight. But if I put window tint there, then that'll help, and then I can use it just to see where leave it clear right where I'm going in the front part, where I see out of mostly. So lots of little tweaks to get this Velomobile dialed in. I like the mountain drive. I like the 65. I'm running with the 155 cranks. I'm running with a really thin seat pad, so that's how come I sit down lower in the Velo, because I have a Venta seat, but it puts me up too high, and interestingly enough, it's just enough to get my knees to scrape the inside of the Velo. So anyway. Alright, so there you have it. That's the going and getting plastic and trying out a new windscreen and all that stuff. And do I have to make a whole new top? No. This is gonna work out just fine. I like it. I think it's gonna work out perfectly. Now, one of the things that it does do is it does make the Flevoroof not quite as, how should I say? It makes the Flevoroof to where you really can't store it if you want to. But as I said, I have discovered for me that if I go out with the Flevoroof on, I just leave it on. I don't need to store it because I've found that having the shade is better than having the sunlight direct on me or the sun beating down on me, even if it's hot, even if it's a hot day and I go in the Velo. Of course, for me, if it's a really hot day, I tend to take an open Trike, so I don't have any covering around me anyway. But what a great ride. Just a little one, but I'm very pleased with the results. So anyway, there you go. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button down there. Hit the little bell right next to it so you get notified of any videos that I put up in the coming days. And until next time, cheers.